right, I have to get you going. How are you doing? Until we get the nomination of officers. Oh. Have to have an invitation in the Pledge of Allegiance. Anyone want to pray?
I'll pray. Father, thank you for this time. Thank you for this opportunity for us to give back to our community. We just ask for open minds and for you to give us the wisdom to make good decisions to help this body of water that we're all here and concerned about. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Yeah.
Nice job. You'll stand.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So John's not here, so we'll make him the chairman, right?
That usually works.
He told me he would serve if he didn't have to chair. So who among you would be?
Oh, was that his
Stipulations.
stipulation?
Sounds like he does.
Yes, yes.
Chair, you
Kinda
can
leaning
sit in the
towards
middle,
him.
so since there are seats ready.
You okay?
Oh, I can't be an officer. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. I appreciate the
I understand. Okay, and I just joined the Friends of Black River.
yes. Yep, and
So if you need to know of a upcoming battle, just check with us.
yes, right.
So. Who wants to be?
Everybody's looking at their pens.
Did you like the way the email today? I said, who wants to be drafted or volunteer?
I mean, basically what it entails is just leading the meetings, correct?
Do you have to put the agenda together or does somebody else do that? Do
With
you-
the other advisory board, Aaron and Kathy work on it together.
Okay, and there's
So the
chairman, vice
secretary.
chair.
Secretary and chair.
No, okay.
And the secretary really has to do more work because they have to take minutes and then get them to Tina at town hall.
You're just making it sound so good, Tara.
I think.
I would not mind doing it. I mean, I live here, so I'm not having to come from out of town.
Gotcha.
So you can make
I
most of
think
the
that
meeting.
would be one plus. Just,
Yeah.
that's one good point on that.
And I'm on disability, so it's not like I have to punch a clock and be somewhere. Unfortunately, I wish I was, but I'm legally blind due to a tick bite, Lyme's disease, so I might, ask for a ride to walk or be walking, come down here one night, but
Well, you call.
no, I wouldn't mind doing it. Anything I can do to help out.
Right. Vice chairman.
I'll do vice chair, but don't tell my wife.
How long?
She wanna do it? She wanna do it?
What, you taking anything on?
Way, I'm not eligible for secretary.
That's right.
Secretary.
Secretary is definitely going to be. The meetings are recorded
That helps.
and they're posted on the website.
That
So
helps.
if your shorthand's not so good, that helps.
Yeah, that's a lot.
How do you think John would be at that?
I hope he did that too.
This, what, 3 people there? Who else is not here?
Alan Pittman.
Um,
And
John,
It's just,
that's it.
Leighton?
No,
He's
Layton wouldn't serve, but
He wouldn't.
he wants to sit in the audience.
I get that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the worst note taker in the world, I honestly. And
That excuse.
no, I honestly, I can't do it. I've just got too much going on right now. So.
I can't do it. Billy or her, which is one.
I print because no one can read my cursive, including me, and it would be painfully slow and lots of misspelled words.
Hmm.
There's a reason I majored in engineering. It's something I think.
I'm doing pretty good. Okay.
They all have fun to get.
That was back then. So from this moment on, I get to sit over there. And you can get removed.
Okay.
All right, so let's see, so when the other board met, they had worked on their bylaws as y'all have worked on yours. And section 2, article 2, section, well, I don't know, the one about being present or there's no weren't exactly like theirs. Theirs had something about Zoom as an option.
We took that out, did we? I don't remember seeing that in the our revised version. Right, we took the Zoom part out on the revised one that,
I don't see it.
yeah, because we were waiting on an answer and then we didn't
true.
hear about an answer. So I think Miss Mary Kay just took it out when she condensed it for us.
Yeah.
Cause I don't remember seeing it in what I read.
In the future, you may want to amend that because the other board is sending their bylaws with Zoom as an option. And the town board has to approve it.
So what was that an option? Cause you were gonna check on it?
Yeah, let me stand up here so it's recorded.
Okay.
Record each one individually, but long story short is your answer, it depends.
Yeah.
Like a lot of things, I guess, when you get down to legalities. In checking with the school of government, there's a clear defining line between statutory requirements and non-statutory requirements. In other words, members of the body that are elected versus advisory boards, subcommittees, and members that may be appointed. You still take action, make recommendations that subject you to open meeting laws. However, the school of government and statutes by extension are not clear on the advisory board, the subcommittee, the non-statutory requirements. All that is to say, they are mostly lawyers at the school of government, and they usually will tell us at a staff level and a local level, follow the most restrictive rule. Because if you do that, most times you stay out of trouble, you're covered. So I would say to you as a staff recommendation, my recommendation is going to be to follow the same rules elected officials follow. In other words, meeting in person, taking decisions, making decisions in person, establishing a quorum in person. Having said that, the school of government does follow that statement by saying it's up to the elected official at the local level, whether that's town council, whether that's the board of commissioners, whether that's county commissioners, to basically set forth local laws. They cannot take away from statutes, but they can add to. So in a situation like this, where it's unclear, the board of commissioners or council here would have the authority to basically say, yes, we will allow that, or no, we will not allow that. Any questions?
So what I guess one I would have is we have to have at least 4 for a quorum.
That's correct. 4 out of 7.
So what I think Terry's saying is that the reason why I guess they're adding the Zoom is to make sure they have a quorum. Is that why they're doing it, Terry?
And there's so many of y'all don't live here. And it may be harder to get here in the dead of winter, and that way the work can continue.
And you got a quorum at least 4.
Now, will we be able, if there's something we specifically have to vote on and we don't have a quorum? I know the Board of Health, we could vote by email. Is that something that's set here? If there's something we need, like we need to get something to the town council and we need to vote on it, they need to know. Is that something that we can do that's covered in here, or is that?
That's not covered right now, but is that something acceptable?
Cannot?
There's some open meeting laws, meeting decisions. Now, you can have conversations.
Yeah.
You can certainly discuss tactics, strategy, anything, to your pleasure. You're not an elected body, so you are given that freedom, if you will. But in terms of making decisions, they must be done in open meeting law setting.
So the other advisory board is sending it to town commissioners that they're recommending you be face to face. But if circumstances are here, that Zoom will count for quorum and you're able to.
And then that'll be up to the commissioners to decide whether they're gonna accept or not.
That's correct. Your bylaws will be, if you vote to recommend your bylaws tonight, your bylaws will be on the board of agenda for the September 9th meeting for the board of commissioners to take action on. And to Commissioner Hollis' point, it would be the pleasure of the advisory board as to what that recommendation is.
So, do you want to make a motion to have the same wording as theirs added to this document before you approve it?
How do y'all feel about that?
Move to have Zoom meetings.
As an option?
Absolutely, sure.
And that constitute people on Zoom would be present for quorum.
And vote.
Mhm. Yeah. I so move.
So,
So that would be under, we would put that under Article or Section 2,
Or 3 meetings, I think.
3.
Yeah. 3 covers meetings, right?
Yes.
yeah, the absolute one, section 2.
Mhm. So that would be, maybe under section 1, add the Zoom meetings.
The section 2, article 3.
Article 3,
Section,
where's meetings,
Article 3, section 1, add, would that be where we put the Zoom meeting edition? Because it says the regular meeting of the membership shall be held on a monthly basis. And it seems like we could insert either,
or under Section 2, because you're talking about the quorum and the majority of the members being here under Section 2.
but it seems like it might fit better under section 1. Because you're talking about holding members on a monthly basis. It doesn't say where the meeting is held or what kind of in person or Zoom. It seems like you could have an insert there that says,
When it says locations, the town hall.
okay, at the White Lake Town Hall or other designated and advertised location. So instead of insert there or by Zoom.
So this is the wording of theirs. Members are requested to attend face to face with the Zoom option with vote and quorum.
With the Zoom option. Let's see, okay. I'm just thinking it really fits better in section 1, but,
Just add it to the end of Section 1
yeah.
then.
Article 3, section 1.
Mhm.
Yes, ma'am,
Okay,
please.
I'll have to make a motion. No,
They do. So that's what I can say. I'll help you through the procedural stuff because it's
Yeah,
kind of technical, but you make a motion to that effect and then you vote on it collectively. Make the break.
Right.
gotcha. So motion is that in Article 3 about our meetings under Section 1, we will add that we recommend in-person being here for our meetings. But we have an option that you can attend via Zoom for attendance and for voting. Does that cover our bases?
Votes.
Okay. You need a second?
Is there any discussion? Need to change anything? Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Second,
Recommend in person, but Zoom is available.
an option
Okay.
for attendance and for vote. Miss Mary, you seconded?
I did second.
Okay.
I think so. And then we have discussion, right?
who made the motion?
I made the motion.
So is there,
Yeah, any more changes or anything? Do we need to, anybody feel like we need to add to it?
let me see.
Yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
Yay?
Aye.
Aye.
Yay. Yes.
Any opposed? Unanimous. Is it, I guess is the next question is, has everybody had a chance to look at this newest version? To see if there's anything else that we need to add to or take away or discuss or,
I would say one thing about Article 1, Section 2. I agree with Alan Pittman that we need to number those bullet points because it'll be easier to refer to them. So that's on the very first page. Article 1, Section 2, scope of activities.
So number 10, 11.
No number, I think. It doesn't matter, whichever way, just so we'll have a way to refer to them.
so are you making that a motion?
I move, yes.
I'll second it.
Okay, where are we now? Article 1.
Yes, Article 1, Section 2, the scope and activity covered by the board. And then so those bullets, we're gonna number them so that we can reference to them rather than just saying bullet 4 or bullet 5.
Okay. In the order they are now. So-
Yes.
Okay.
Any discussion on that motion? All in favor? Aye.
You get a second on that.
I second it. Miss Mary motioned it. I second it.
Keep up.
I understand. I'm used to these kind of things, so I may move a little quick with it. So that we're not here till dark 34.
Yeah.
So our next point of reference would be where?
So this management plan was presented by Jim Cares.
I think that's used the motion about the bylaws. Previous amendments, just so there's
Is there
something on record, sending the bylaws.
any more discussion? on
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, anybody else have any other concerns on what we have?
Everybody okay with everything? The little scope of activities covered, because it's not limited to that.
No, and that's quite a bit to work on too.
Yeah, right. So
That's a lot. If we can do that meet once a month, well, hey, we're heroes. We're gonna be pushing a lot of sand and mud as it is, I feel like, but you know, it's a challenge.
I think it looks good. I don't have any any issues with any of the other things. It's pretty standard from there out, I think. So I move that we accept the bylaws.
Need a second? I'll second.
Now it's accept bylaw with the two previous amendments.
Correct.
Yes, yes, correct. Thank you.
All those in favor, aye. Okay, moving along.
For the management strategic plan, the Lumber River Council of Government. This was done. Remember year done for that?
It's 2022.
So this may be good guidance for what you all want to do or work on or research or I think it's a good starting point. Not a lot has been done with this. Anybody would like for the EQ. I will want of the responsibilities that are theirs. We really need to be good.
I'm sorry, say that again. What are you saying? That what?
Saying that we may need to court the EQ because if you look at who's responsible for what,
Right,
we need them to be our real good friends in all of it.
then we have a friend that's in. I mean, that's close to. That's what,
DEQ office.
That's the one that covers White Lakes.
So
But
that,
any connection with any DEQ maybe that's what we want.
but I think something to think about is, to have. We certainly need to have positive relationships with these four here under delineation of authority. On the page that says delineation of authority, that's the major players that are involved in the lake management. So in the past, there have been some missteps and some bad feelings that develop with some of the folks. So we need to be sure that we don't do anything that furthers that, and that we go in the direction of positive relationships. I don't really know anybody on the Water Resources Commission. I used to work for state government, so I have some experience with parks people and DEQ people, but I don't know anybody doing that as I've been out for a while. But it's something for us to think about, maybe to develop liaisons with each of these groups. Or, we might want to have somebody come in and speak. Can we do that? Like, if we need to learn what DEQ does, for example, invite the speaker and.
My recommendation is that just be use them as a legitimate
Right,
presentation.
okay,
No names that he, and
who's that?
Lane.
Oh,
it's the superintendent, or, yeah, this over.
okay,
That,
right. Yeah, I know Lane too, and in fact, I worked for Parks way, way, way back.
I taught in third grade.
But, if you look at the scope of activities in the bylaws and then relate some of that to the people who are invested in the management of the lake, then it might be easier to sort of pick up from the scope of activities and bring somebody in to talk about something that needs to be done under the scope of activities, like conservation easements. Who would we bring in for that? That's something that we could do, is bring somebody in to tell us more about what that entails, and then from there we could go on and do, make some kind of a plan to get information out to the public.
Yeah, it looks like there's quite a bit for us to go through here. To kind of, to kind of separate it and work with, like you say, the different areas
And
to find out who we might know that we could make contact.
Lane is close and he's, easy to talk to. So that might be a good starting point.
He may have some friends on some of these other areas too.
Sure.
See the one in Fayetteville,
Lane's over here. He's over
He's at the corner.
Singletary,
Singletary. Lake.
Stick.
which is over the
I
lake.
heard you mention him.
Mhm. Yes. Yeah, Baytree. Well, it's funny, when you get over to Baytree, it's the canals. But no, yeah, right, the water, but not the canals. The horse pen and the canals, they own, the property does. But the state is over the Baytree Lake itself. It's weird over there. You don't have to have a fishing license for the canals or horse pen, but the minute you put your hook in Baytree, that's state regulations. Mm-hmm.
But this is a really good report, and it has it is a good basis for us to begin, and our foundation for work on this committee or board. One thing that I am interested in is the measurements and samples for testing. Because we've been doing that for quite a while. And I learned recently at one of the town meetings that their samples are going to all the way across the country for testing. And I just wonder why. That doesn't seem like it's necessary. I mean, aren't there places in the state to test the samples? It is. I don't know who to ask.
I think the easiest way to answer that question is, there's several samples that go to several places.
Okay.
There's an algae specialist in Burlington that we send samples to, which we look at the different sample cultures and pick out specifics when it comes to like cyanobacteria, we bring algae and protein. We do utilize that. I know in the past, and this predates me, so I'm speaking of what I've been told, what I've read, and not from experience. We tried using the lab out of Wilmington. Those results weren't satisfactory. I know that the state labs are not set up to handle that type of volume request. And I know that a big reason why some of these water samples go to Seattle, I think it's Seattle, Washington, is they have done an extensive pool analysis of the sediment layers within White Lake. That was done, as I understand, as part of the power treatment process.
Mm.
So they have an extensive history of the various aspects that go into the bottom of the lake and some degree of the water table of the lake. So again, as I understand it, they use data that's been collected over time to compare results as to current conditions versus previous conditions. So they do, I know they have an extensive core sample that they use to base some of their information off of, and I believe, if I understand it correctly, that relationship was established again during the power treatment process.
Right.
And we maintain that relationship.
So with all this information that we have in front of us, we're obviously not going to go through all of it tonight. What do we like to set up our next meeting?
What kind of agenda items we'd like?
I think that's kind of where we need to be right now, right? To let us all kind of read through this and absorb it and kind of see where, pick a starting point so we're not overwhelmed and get ourselves frustrated. Because that's something we did not get to talk about last time because we didn't have enough of us, was to figure out which way we wanted to start, I guess, our focus, for lack of better words. You know, what way we wanted to focus on the quality and quantity and that body of water sitting out there. Any ideas or anything that's on anybody's mind? The starting point?
Well, we have groundwater, information from the past. Is that correct? And Terry, the meeting we had with, the, Lumber River Council of Government, is that something that this board would take on, or is that a town project? How are we involved with that?
Yeah.
This board, or to move forward something like this board would make something like that. This board would make a recommendation to the board of commissioners to submit an application for some type of action plan. And be done with a recommendation, board voted on to board commissioners.
To give us permission to pursue, or to give us permission to,
No, we make
Recommend board
the
commissioners.
recommendation and they. give
for
us
them.
permission. Yeah.
Okay, just getting clarity.
Well, we've had this good meeting with the Lumber River Commission of Government recently about continuing groundwater research. And so it seems like all of us need to know about that meeting. So if we could get somebody here from Lumber River COG to talk to us at the next meeting about that, I think that would be good. They are people who know how to find money, and they will partner with town governments. And so that's what we were talking about, is how to further this groundwater information need that we have with the lake, because the groundwater may be affecting the lake level, you know, like clarity and other things. So I think that's a good starting point since we've already got them on board. And we've talked to them recently. And they're supposedly working on some ideas with.
I just figure start with good habit them as an agenda item, give a presentation.
Mhm.
And then in that presentation, could you could not make a recommendation for the commission.
Yes,
That would be the pleasure of the advisory.
okay,
And certainly permissible on the agenda item, having the council of governments or like Lane
mhm,
come and give a presentation.
okay. So do we need a motion to put something on the agenda or we
That's
don't?
the pleasure. And the agenda basically is set forth every month,
Mhm.
typically speaking, the secretary and maybe the chairman, as Commissioner Holly referred to earlier, work on that agenda and then submit it to the town clerk, and she posts the agenda online, and there's the agenda back or Princeton. So that's the pleasure of the board. If you want to add that as an agenda item collectively, have a conversation about that, or the chair and the secretary can have a conversation about that, or however the board wants to establish that procedure.
Well, I think that's a good starting point since this is heavy duty stuff.
Yes, yes.
It's heavy. It's
A lot of science.
no offense to the recreation group, but this is really more science based and it's if we need experts in here to talk to us about where we can go and what the next steps need to be and who our partners are and so I think that would be a good agenda item for the next.
You gonna start with, so are we saying start with Lane, since he's closer, more local to us?
We can do that, sure.
Start local.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Since
what
he's
we-
kind of over this body, you
yes,
know, our local
exactly,
representative,
that's fine.
okay?
And
So what are we at, what do we want to
ask him.
ask him to prepare for? Yes,
Right,
yes.
well, let's see, looking at this,
What is Lane's
report.
actual status? It says
He's the superintendent.
superintendent.
Mhm.
Okay, so looking at the report here, let's see what it says about.
Well, for instance, like, is there gonna be a moratorium on more seawalls? I mean, just not saying for or against. Um. Things of that nature.
Says he inspects seawalls. Or parts of that.
Yes, so over there, so part of their, I'm trying to think of the right word. When you file for like the pier license and things,
Yeah.
they have to come and tell you what, you know, how many feet, where you, yeah, all those.
How far out?
So they regulate, is what I was trying to think of. They regulate the seawalls and the piers and buoys. So anything that has to do anything in the water, over the water, under the water. Yeah, he's the person that you first go and speak to.
But his department really can't make any.
No, but he
changes to
could-
anything, but he can.
He can show, yeah, I think he could steer us to the right people in Raleigh that could. But I think that's part of too, one of some of these scopes that I've looked at is in reference to the seawalls is, I know when I was young, there were hardly any around the lake. And we were filtering a lot of the lake through the sand.
Mhm.
But I also built one at our cottages, you know, before we sold it, because so many others were built near us and it was washing away ours
Yeah, exactly.
beach. So, you know, we jumped on board and did it too, but not to say that was the right thing to do. But I feel like that's going to be part of what, you know, some of what we do and discuss and talk to as we learn more of the science part of it, right? That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then that would be a recommendation that we would give to the town commissioners to move forward on
If
that.
we came up with something.
Correct.
On
Mm-hmm.
purpose.
Right.
So do you want to give Blaine questions before he gets here?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm.
So maybe we should all submit some questions to you,
Okay.
and give us a date by which you want them.
Well, that would all depend on how quicker we want to try to get him here. Are we trying to get him here next month or give ourselves time to look through some of this, get our questions for the agenda, and then give him a few weeks to get his information together?
So you're saying maybe come back next time with our questions.
Or we
Us
could,
go through
or we can email them. I'm fine with that.
them. Add or edit, and then the.
Like maybe-
after that's-
So what I'm saying is reach out to him and ask him that maybe in October he would come, but that we're gonna come up with what we're looking for him to discuss with us.
Or
Sounds good.
any
You know,
other
for next-
informative information.
Yeah.
Yeah, does that sound good?
Yeah, and this, it has in this report, it says what they do, and so it's kind of a little guide for us to ask him about certain things, like the seawalls.
Right.
I'm sorry, I've got to drink some more. Throat's always real dry these days, now that I'm an old lady. I remember, I think that there was a survey done about the seawalls. Wasn't there some survey around the lake that showed how many seawalls there were and how much they took up?
There's some information in this report about it, what the percentage.
There is,
Yes, ma'am.
okay,
I mean, it,
yeah,
151 up,
okay, yeah,
59%.
in the last 30 years.
okay, yeah. Yeah, well, that has been identified as a problem because it washes the algae back out into the lake. When isn't that the way that works, instead of being absorbed by the sand and filtered out? So that is a problem. How do we tackle that? But yeah, he can talk to us more about that. Is there a moratorium on building them? And if there isn't, then there needs to be. It sounds like, so.
You know how some municipalities give tax credit if homeowners do certain things that are improving the environment? And look into that.
Well, that might be a recommendation we could make.
Yeah.
What happened was every time the lake dropped, you can pick up another 15 feet of waterfront property by building your seawall. Because that's essentially what I think led to a lot of this. Plus your neighbor, you're washing next door, you're washing everything away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One said to me the other day, they had to rebuild their seawall because there were cypress trees that would wash away if they didn't rebuild that seawall.
Yeah.
You're a man of science, you know.
Trees were here first.
Yeah.
Well, but and here's the science on that is I saw where several people being in their yards or looking, built the seawall and then backfilled
That's what I'm saying.
behind it. And then when you cover that tree up, you suffocate that tree.
Yeah, that's right.
It's supposed to be the ground. It's supposed to be at a certain level on that tree stump. And when you backfill and you think you're doing the right thing, but you're not,
That's right.
and then, well, yeah. Okay. So
Yes.
So we'll work on that. So everybody kind of, we'll go through this and look at what, we'll come up with a list of things that we want Lane to discuss with us. And we'll discuss that next meeting in September. But so as far as reaching out to Lane, is that something that I need to do? We have to, I mean, is that okay?
Yeah.
So I can reach out to him and say, hey, this is what we'd like to do, and
We'd like to have
okay.
you come and speak with.
Yeah, I have, well, I will talk about it, like the high water.
Mhm.
It says,
Yeah.
where is it?
Right.
And when you build a house, it used to be so many feet from the high water mark. If I
Gotcha.
remember correctly, it's been a while. If there's some way, you question me, some way that we can establish what the historical high water mark is? Then we can buy some property and put up a flow there to control, keep the water up to where the high water mark should be. Anyway, I'm getting way ahead of ourselves here.
Well, it's things we need to discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's things we need to discuss.
yeah, that sounds good to me. I think that, if we come up with questions and do you want us to send them to you via email first and then you put together
We can do that. That'll speak, well, I guess what I would need to do is compile it and give it to Tina so that we would have it in a printout. Is that how this works? The best way? As a agenda item, right? Okay, okay. So yes, ma'am. Email to me and then, we'll get them compiled together and get them to Tina and then. Well, that's great.
you've done number 2, number 3. And I guess number 4 is brainstorming. We've done the brainstorming.
Mm-hmm.
That would be October 23rd. That you're going to ask Lane.
Correct. And then our next one is what, September
25th.
25th? Yes, what I'll probably do is just, I'll ride around there and talk to him. Go kick the tires with him for a little bit.
We just kind of brainstormed.
Yeah,
Yeah, we brainstormed quite a bit.
I think that's
Mhm.
good.
Well-
I checked it off.
I feel like a lot of it too is, well, one is us learning each other, but two is us learning the procedures of, because we're an advisory board. So, we've got to keep that in mind. We're not the say.
We just give advice.
Yes, we just give advice. That's right.
Recommend.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, we don't, and it would be nice to maybe get some names from him as well. Some people that he knows in some of these areas and places with the wildlife and resources. And I know we do have, I'm pretty sure Ray Britt is on the commission board for the state right now, so. Mm-hmm. I think Ray Britt is. So, anybody like that we got friends and locals that we can reach out to will always be a blessing.
Yeah, it'd be nice to hear Lane's take on what we might be able to do about the outlet and seawalls and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The outlet right now is on whose property technically? Do we know?
The outlet.
Keith
Tom.
Brothers.
Okay.
E3.
Alex Keith.
So what we need is a grant to buy that and put it sometime.
Do we know what year that was put there?
When Charter Code was developed, revenues walk over there every half of the year. 85, 86.
Yeah, about 85.
So before that, there was not an outlet. So you're not,
Yeah. They were just canals
Through that area,
through that area.
because that was always the swamp. That was always everything drained.
Yeah, because
Was there an outlet? There used to be two, when they first developed.
One.
Charter Code, there were two.
there's one right there where the next to
where
the hub is
Hub's
actually
house is.
now.
They filled it in and sold that lot. So then it was on one.
But I don't think it had any kind of water control. I mean, I don't remember that.
I don't think any of them's ever had any.
Well, somebody's got some sandbags down there, but they're,
Point. I don't know if it was there or on the water. It may have been Tilden Walker years ago. Someone built a ditch. to
Tilden,
Drain the properties.
Tilden.
yeah.
And the state stopped it because it drained the lake.
Right.
So that was about 64 or 65. He was on a backhoe digging across, about to dig across 701 to drain it. Yeah, and my daddy and some of his buddies was headed to Elizabethtown. Saw what he was doing and went back to his daddy, my grandfather. And he called the state highway patrol to stop him. And they stopped him and told him, yeah, but he was getting ready to dig it right across the road and drain the lake so he could get the stumps and things up to develop water. That was in the 60s.
That would have been good.
Spring of water runs the intersection.
Mm-hmm.
The bridge goes over on the wall.
Yeah,
So
yeah, on
it's
53.
somewhere.
Yeah. Well, if you ever walk through the part that's not developed of Waterford, yeah, there's quite a bit of water that collects and flows.
That's what you know, the
This
lake's
was-
down this much and you walk
Mhm.
down the canal, we're still flowing out.
Right,
And
right. It makes sense
that's
what you're
we're
saying.
looking at.
Yeah, it makes sense what you're saying. That's part of the quantity, right? It's part of working on the quantity. Yeah, having some way of regulating it. Yeah,
I just thought this, for all these years that the sandbags were the most ridiculous.
it was. But think about how low it would have been if the sandbags hadn't have been thrown down.
I know, but, of course, there it goes the state again, put you a little
Yeah.
culvert drain in
Yeah.
there with a
Yeah,
round wheel on it.
yeah. Right,
Open it and close it.
right,
I started thinking
Right.
about Duff, where
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, the
Gotta be
state
careful.
would, because you can't do anything without getting into them.
Mm-hmm. Permission,
That's correct.
written permission,
Mhm.
not verbal, written. Yeah. Well, I think we're at a. We're kind
Someone
of,
wants to make a motion. We're adjourned.
I make the motion with adjourn.
So
all in favor
All right.
to the house.